So let me start this video by telling you I'm not a musical fan. I do like some musicals, especially the classics like Grease and Singing in the Rain. I obviously love South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut. There's others. La La Land I think is really good. It's just not a genre that I really vibe with most of the time. But the hype was real for Wicked. I went into this movie, with some trepidation because it is a musical, and I was riveted to the screen from beginning to end. This is a story and experience that we need for now. I had 2 hours and 45 minutes of pure joy. I was taken out of the nonsense that we're living in right now in our real world and got to just experience this with nearly a full auditorium of people that were laughing together and crying together and feeling joy together. It was just a wonderful experience and the best theater experience that I've had this year. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo are immaculate in their roles. They contrast each other in perfect ways. The chemistry between them is real. When you see them in interviews crying together and laughing together and actually being friends, you feel that in this movie. The movie sits on their shoulders and they carry it perfectly. Cynthia Erivo is more subtle but incredibly powerful in the way she can cast emotion just with a facial expression. Her vocal is like that of an angel. When she sings, it feels effortless. It doesn't feel like she has to try. It's just magic. Perfect that she's a witch. Ariana Grande's vocal also beautiful, also that of an angel. Her performance less subtle, more comedic, and her comedic timing is immaculate. I didn't know that she was as funny as she is. Now, looking at videos of her, the imitation she does of actors and that kind of thing, she's just a hilarious person, and she takes advantage of that in this movie throughout. So she's bubbly and light and friendly and charismatic, but also self-focused and kind of just dumb to the world around her, while Cynthia Erivo's character is more in tune to the world around her, even though that world rejects her. I love that her character is strong, though. She feels pain. She feels hurt. She hates how she's treated, but she is strong and fights back against it the whole time. We don't have to watch that aspect of her character build up. So often in this type of story, you have this character that is beat down and not strong and has to become strong. She's strong from the very beginning. Watching these two characters come together is incredible, and it's done in acting and in song. This movie brought me to tears a couple of times, did not expect that. The songs, all earworms. Every single song in this movie stuck in my head and is still playing in my head. And I'm not a musical fan. I'm really taken aback by how much I loved this movie. I did not expect it. It is a story of prejudice and of racism. We need this movie to be a billion-dollar movie because apparently in our country, we need these stories to be told. This aspect of it is not subtle, and it doesn't need to be at this point. There are aspects of this movie that are musical in the way the characters are told, and that can be a little bit of a problem for people who don't see musicals that often. Characters almost rubber band. When they change, they change. It doesn't happen slowly. It happens during a song sometimes. And that's musicals. So I can't really fault the movie for that. The practical sets are stunning. Things that were built, flowers that were planted, giant fields of flowers. There's a giant train that was built. Actual locations were built, and it is beautiful. Now, to the negative side of it, though, they actually detracted from that beauty with the style in which the film was shot and the way it was post-produced. Backgrounds are blown out. The sunlight is so bright, you lose detail in the backgrounds. While there is vibrant color, there is also this grayish kind of filter that washes everything out across it. And I know this is due to green screen. They're trying to cover the green screen edges, and often characters are lit very edgy to cover up those green screen edges. And I don't know if they just had a problem because of having so much built stuff covering those edges in a more seamless way. I don't know, but that definitely feels like what is happening. And sometimes images are shot very flat, which is weird considering they're in a built space. That has to be due to green screen also. When it matters, when there's big dance numbers, the camera does pick up and move around and show us different angles, and it feels dynamic and it feels cinematic. Very often with a play to film, looking at it just feels like someone pointed a camera at the stage. This one does have that feel in a couple places, but very often, especially in moments that matter, it becomes cinematic and the camera does move. So it's a mixed bag, the look of the film. It's problematic in its color grading and the lighting, but practical sets and costumes are stunning. So overall, I think it's good. It could have been great. Movie, though, is phenomenal. So I'm giving the movie a 4.5 out of 5, and that seems very high with the things that I just complained about, but the things that are really good in this movie are great. And those things outweigh the negatives of some of the actual production of the film. I recommend this movie to everybody. Take your friends, take your family, go now while it's busy, because you want to go to a full theater, because you will have that joyful 2 hours and 45 minutes. You will have a beautiful time, and we all need that. So go see Wicked. I loved it.